Alrighty, let's get started. We're gonna look at the trades today in the S&P 500, and then we'll look at the daily chart and do the rest of the products. Let me show you something, guys. This is the symbol for the S&P 500. I remember when I first started trading this, so quite a few years back. I remember what the margin was. Okay, let me take a look at this. Let me show you something. Look at this number right here, $21,000 to take on one contract at the S&P 500 futures. Just one contract. Guys, it's gotten so ridiculous. I don't even trade the S&P 500 anymore. I don't trade the NASDAQ. I don't trade. The Russell maybe is a little bit better. I just don't trade them. The return on the risk is totally not worth it. It just isn't worth it. Who the hell wants to put up $21,000 when you're ticking along at $12.50? When this first came out, when I first started trading this, I don't remember what it was. It was below 10,000. It was below 10,000 bucks. So they came out with the micro as this started getting out of control. Okay, let me show you the micro. You know what the micro is, right? It's just 1/10 of that. Okay. Which should just show up automatically, but typical Charles Schwab fashion, they make you look it up. $2,100. $2,100 for a little $1.25 profit on a tick for one contract. So you got $2,100 riding along, and you're trying to squeeze out a profit at $1.25 a tick. Yikes. If you got a lot of money, you know, you got $500,000, $400,000, $350, $300, or whatever, $200 maybe even, you're a millionaire, these numbers aren't going to mean much to you, right? Because you can just swing it. You don't care. $21,000 doesn't mean anything. But for your retail trader, they're not going to go around slinging around $21,000 for a contract in S&P 500. It's ridiculous. Yeah, 21,000. You know, look, some of you probably don't realize this, but the E-mini was not the original contract. There was called the big contract. It just said S&P 500 index futures. It wasn't the SPX, it was futures, but they didn't have the E-mini in front of it. They were the original contracts. Well, the E-mini became so popular because it was easier and more affordable to trade the smaller denomination that the big contract slowly faded out of existence. Boy, was that a mistake. Here we are all these years later, and the E-mini is just as expensive, if not more expensive than the original big contract. That's how crazy the world has become. I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, the amount of money you have to put forward and to put on margin to trade this product and the rest of the products is the hell not worth it. No freaking way am I fronting that kind of money for that little chicken feed, because there's other products that are super cheap, and I might not make quite as much margin, quite as much profit, but I'm not breaking the back of a lifetime of savings either, or breaking the bank. So I watch this stuff, and I've watched it become more and more out of control over the last probably 8 to 10 years. It's to the point right now I will not trade index futures. I don't even touch them anymore. Not worth my time. We are going to take a look, though, at corn. And E-mini corn, unlike frickin' S&P 500 and the jokers and their margins, and I'm sure the margins are a little bit cheaper at other brokers, but Charles Schwab is the king of ripoffs. But in any case, it probably isn't much cheaper. Unlike these products, E-mini corn is dog cheap. Okay, the profit margins may not be as big and it may not move as much, but guess what? That's okay by me. It gives me more wiggle room, I can adjust my trading size. I might pay a little more in commission because I'm dealing with more contracts. I don't care. I'm willing to pay a little bit more in commissions knowing I get to control my margin. We're going to talk about E-mini corn, but the reason I mention that is because I made an opinionated forecast last week that E-mini corn was going to be profitable. We're going to find out that it happened. All right, let's look at the trade of the day here for the S&P 500. I'm going to show you a 5-point trade, super easy, that even your grandma, who is busy sewing mittens, can do it. And you know what? This trade's so easy, you can do it in your, what is it, Toyota that does the J2Z? I don't remember. Don't get mad at me if I don't know. Okay, but you can do it in the back of your J2Z powered car. You can do it in your Honda. You can do it in your BMW. You could do it in your... You can do it in a 42-year-old rusty pickup truck like what I drive. It doesn't matter. You can do it like the cool kids on the block do it. This trade is so stupid and easy, anybody can do it. Even Fat Perez down at the end of the block can do this trade. Everybody knows a Fat Perez one way or another somewhere. Here we are, 11 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to show you the easiest trade you could ever make in your life. Here it is on a 5-minute chart. That puts us right smack dab, just on the right side of this dashed line. Right there. A little past halfway up this line. And look at this, it doesn't reach the bottom. Beautiful thing, momentum is positive. Bingo, it doesn't get any better. Momentum is positive. You're already halfway up this line. It never reached the bottom down here. This line, if you notice, let me go to a little bit smaller dot so I can make it a little bit more granular. This line right here, these two lines, look how they're wide apart from each other. You see that? There's a gap between the two lines. They're not stacked on top of each other. See if I can find one that's stacked on top of each other. Like here, it's stacked on top of each other, right? Yeah, you see how it's kind of stacked on top of each other right there? They're crossing over. Sometimes you'll get a little ride on top of each other for a little while, but most of them don't do that. This is definitely not doing that, right? It's separating out. It means you got good, decent momentum is what that basically is telling you. So you know that it's already on its way up. It didn't reach the bottom, which is very bullish. You got positive momentum, which is bullish. And it started to make a gap here. So that's extremely bullish behavior. Okay. So really, seriously, as soon as that candlestick closed, you could take the trade long. Let's see, where did this open up at? Open right at 6,100. And you could ride it all up to the close on this one, which was 6,105. Told you, 5 points. Okay. Yeah, 6,100. Right up to that line right there. Oh, wait a minute, that ain't right. It's got to be more than 5 points. It's got to be more than 5 points. 6,100. Oh, this opened at 6,100. It makes sense. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm saying if you exited this candlestick now at the very top, because this is probably more realistic. Yeah, so 5 points. There's your 5-point trade. From right there up to there. That's about as easy as a trade you're ever going to see. The chart does not get any better than that. That's easy peasy. And if you go back and pause this video and go back, this will probably work for a lot of products, not just S&P 500. Not just the ripoff product known as the stock indices. Puke. I'm telling you right now, the stock indices are quickly becoming the playground for only the wealthy. Not your average retail trader. They're not going to be able to trade that product. They can trade micros. but they're going to be scrapping at the bottom of the barrel in the micro world. Okay. Let's move on to the daily chart. Absolutely amazing, guys and gals. The S&P 500 has just been on a rampage. Just look at this little choppy, small little choppy days, just going straight up. Small little crawl upward days. Look at that. Sorry for coughing. I'm still sick here. Look at that. And a little bit of a sign that wants to roll over. I thought that would happen a little bit earlier. Maybe now it's just beginning to happen. It's already December 6th. December 10th is the low. Yeah, it could run a little longer, so maybe we get a little something down here. I just don't see it happening big. I don't think anything big's going to happen here. Everybody's pipe dreaming that there's going to be any kind of serious pullback. Yes, I think there could be a small correction here, but if there is, it's going to be tiny. All right, we're going to go look straight at corn, then we'll come back to the rest of the products. Okay. Now, you can trade the big contracts in corn. And I'm trying to remember. Gosh, it's been a while since I knew the big contracts. I don't remember because I almost never trade the big contracts, but I could. I'm trying to remember. I used to know wheat's big contract, like WH or something. No, HW. Can't remember. I'll figure it out later. So here's E-mini corn. Let's see, what's the price? Now remember, we saw the S&P 500 stock futures was $21,000. Yeah, because they have to charge us because, you know, it's for our own good. Barf. Does that say? No. Doesn't say 242. Does that say $242? You gotta be kidding. Trade E-mini corn. Yeah. If you add a zero onto this, you get $2,420. Approximately what a micro would cost you. Right? So think about it. This is 10% of the price of a micro. So what is it in comparison to the price of a E-mini S&P 500? This is literally 1% of the margin. A little bit more, but not much more. 1% of the margin requirement for S&P 500. That's how great this margin is. Okay, great. The world's not looking to trade corn every day. I get it. Let me just give you all a hint. You want to spend your money wisely? Find it in other products. Don't waste your time with freaking, I've got to trade the stock indices because everybody else does it too. And I want to be cool like the kids on the other side of the road. Can't I be cool? Oh, please, please, please. Yeah, spare yourself the agony. Get the frick away from the stock indices. Take a break. There's wheat there for $400. Look at silver, 1,000-ounce silver, $2,700. Okay, these are regional prices. Sure, though, you're probably for sure you're going to need, oh gosh, what are they called? Yeah, you're going to need a pay for the stupid subscription fee. I forget what it's called. They won't give you that for free. You have to pay some crazy expensive subscription fee. But anyways, Silver there is $27.83. That's not bad for the 1,000 ounce silver. Okay, the full-blown silver is expensive, just like gold. That's also expensive. All right, so there's a lot of other products here you can trade. Oh, there it is. Look at this. This is the full-blown wheat. It's a ZN7X. That's a reasonable margin. It's only it's less than $2,000 to trade the big contracts. So if you wanted to trade corn, I'm probably just ZC. Yep, there it is. Okay, what does it cost to trade ZZ? $1,200. Now there you get a full big contract on corn for only $1,200. And you're getting $12.50 per tick. Next time I might trade the big contract because that margin requirement's really not that bad. Okay, that's my point that I'm trying to make. Okay, you could make pretty good money right here trading corn. All right, so let's talk about it. I'll go back to the E-mini corn. It was somewhere back in here. I said corn is probably going to do well. It's going to go up. Well, did it? Well, of course it did. Why did I say that back at that time? Because this was up here doing one of these deals. And it just re-engaged over here a couple days before. I thought, wow, that looks very bullish. This was already kind of bullish here. Not huge bullish on momentum, but bullish enough. I thought, this looks pretty good. I think it's going to get up and do one of these deals. I don't think it's going to just do that again. Once it gets like that and then pulls back, well, that wasn't there yet. But now I think this is even going to go higher. I think it's going to re-engage and go even higher. Okay, I'm going to keep a real close eye on this. But I think corn could be even more profitable than where it's already at. So yeah, at that time, I think it was somewhere like right around here. It was sitting around 433, I think, when I looked at it and jumped in. Now we're up here at 436 and 3/8. So pretty huge. Over 3 points worth of movement. Okay. Come on, you stupid thing. Stop jerking around. If we go back over here. Okay, each tick is $12.50. Okay. So now you got to kind of do the math and go through the whole motion of the math. You'd have to go see, well, how many ticks are there in a point? Looks like there's 8. So you got to take 8 times the $12.50, which is 80 plus another 16.96, about $100. About $100 a point. So think about it. It went up over 3 points. That's $300 in a matter of 2 or 3 days on just one contract for what was it? $1,200? Now that's good use of my money. Right? I put up $1,200. Within a few days, I got back $300. Oh, finally, we're getting somewhere. But to put up $21,000 and get back a little like less than 1%, and I'm risking the whole world to do it? No, thank you. Hey, I tell you what, you go ahead. Globalist jack-offs. Go ahead, take it. Take the stock indexes. Because I won't trade them. They can add them in their computers and all can play masturbation games together. Okay, because I won't be a part of it. I refuse to be ripped off by these clowns. Especially the swabs of the world. What a bunch of clowns they are. I just use this platform mostly for doing my videos. I might do some small, tiny trades once in a while just to kind of demonstrate some things. But I'm really careful about doing any big trades on this platform after them stealing $3,300 of my money. And yes, that's a true story. I'm not going to rehash that one. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the products. Let's bust through these. We're going to go Dow Jones Transportation. Let them rip, baby. Too much going on there. And get that out of there. Wow, big old dumpster fire going on in the Dow Jones Transportation. Holy smokes, get the fire trucks out. Dang. That doesn't look healthy. That looks bad. Yeah, Dow Jones Transportation trouble here, taking a big dip or do going down to December 10th. Looks like this is one of the few products that's actually responding to the cycle low. And usually, that's true historically that the Dow Jones Transportation will respond first to sensitive cyclicality. To the sensitivity of a cycle. Happens a lot. The Dow Jones Transportation will respond to cycles. Okay, let's look at the Russell. It's starting to show up too. Of course, this forced me to look at the daily. It's starting to show up here. December 9th, only 4 days away. Could go a little bit longer here. But now they're starting to show up here. So I do think it looks like we're now finally starting to see it. It's like it's going to run late. But it's not going to be very deep because it's happening super late. It's going to be, unless we get some kind of weird, massive December sell-off, which has happened before. Back, I think, happened in 2018. Caught everybody by surprise. So anything can happen. But I think because this is so late, I think it's going to be a small little pullback. That's going to be the end of it. Back to the races. You know what? Okay, never mind. NASDAQ. After a massive, pretty good 4 up days, obviously there was some pretty hefty trading in the futures overnight, the day before. And I don't think it's going to be impacted too much by this cycle low here. It looks like it's looking pretty strong. It probably will be impacted by it, but not much. So far, I'm not convinced that any of these products are going to pull back significantly. They're probably going to pull back a little bit, track a little sideways, blah, blah, blah. For now, they're still looking strong. Okay, Nike 225. Same story here. Positive momentum. Looks like, well, it hasn't quite gone positive yet, but it's going to do it. That's weird. Hang on a second. Give me a moment here. 39. -8. Oh, gosh. Sorry for coughing, guys. I'm just been fighting this stupid cough and feeling like crap last few days. Okay, so it looks like by tomorrow, the Nike 225 is going to be in positive territory unless it just absolutely takes a dumper. But it looks like it's going to go positive territory tomorrow. So Nike 225, watch out. It could go positive territory, which it probably will do tomorrow. Whatever it's going to do here. Curl over and go up again maybe. Might come way down like that, go up again. Okay, so there could be a change of behavior here going on with the Nike 225. Okay, Japanese yen. $1,600. See, so many other products are trade that don't cost 21,000 freaking dollars. Looks like the Japanese yen didn't quite have enough to go positive momentum. It may still do it here in the next few days simply as some carryover. And if it does, that could change things. So this is really close. We don't know yet what's happening. Especially if it does one of those deals, then this will go positive for sure. But at the moment, this is super close. Got to keep an eye on it. December 9th is right there. It's definitely weighing on this product a little bit. So I'd wait. Euro. Okay. Well, that's a nice little positive formation right there. This is bullish. Within this short-term indicator, that type of behavior is a little bit bullish. You can see it right here. They're kind of happening. Not exactly the same, but they're similar. You see it right there? Comes down, dippy do, doesn't go very far and goes back up. Let's look at the price approximate during that time. It just finds this little pothole and then takes off. So that's usually bullish. Not always, but usually. So that has a very bullish tendency to it. There's a huge difference between this and this, though. Okay, do you know what it is? Pause the video. You gotta be able to spot it. Okay. Now at your back, because some of you got the answer, some of you don't. This one had positive momentum. Super nice, healthy, positive momentum. This one, negative momentum. So you know, within the context of short-term movement, this is bullish. Ouchie, ouchie. Kind of just tracking sideways here. And which is what this did too. But there's no guarantee this is going to take off. It might do it. It may still do it because sometimes even though things are this super negative, it may do it. So this would be, to me, as a product, the euro dollar that's trying to repair itself. And that's what that sign right there tells me. It's trying to repair itself, but there's a lot of work to go to prove it. There's a long way to go till you get to the homeland, to the Greenland, the green valleys below. You know what I mean? With the deer roam and it's all fertile territory, plush. All right, what else we got? Okay, hold on a second. I gotta deal with this stupidness. All right. British pound. The futures for the British pound. Well, you've been hearing me say this all week. Today's Thursday. And I think England's in serious trouble. They got a Marxist over there running the show. George and Alex Soros got their paws in on England. I think England's in really serious trouble. They're going to have some serious struggles over there. They're going to make some draconian laws. They're going to make look like, you know, who was the guy? Mussolini. I could make Mussolini look like he was nice. Okay, I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not. Guys, I'm telling you right now, England's in big trouble. The United Kingdom is in big trouble, but England specifically, because those elections are for England, I think. They don't affect the Republic of Ireland. Because the Republic of Ireland is still part of the European Union, whereas England and Northern Ireland and Scotland and Wales, I think, yeah, and maybe a few other places that I'm not totally familiar with, they are part of the United Kingdom, and they separated themselves from the European Union, which on the surface sounds great until a guy like George and Alex Soros see that as a snake in the grass opportunity to come in and institute a Marxist leader like they did in Colombia. And that's exactly what they just did this year. And they tried to do it in America at the same time, but they failed. So England's in big trouble, in my opinion. British pound, what do I think? Wow. Very aggressive right now. But 57, there's room to go here, right? They can get up to 78. So even though this is super negative territory and I wouldn't trade it, would not trade this product long, I would keep an eye on it. I think there's probably a little more room to go here. For super aggressive traders that want to go long, that might be okay. I wouldn't do it, but just letting you know my opinion is there could be a little bit more up run in this. And then I think this negative momentum is going to start to drag this down again going into late December. It's going to be a lot to repair this to get the momentum positive. It could happen. Will it happen before the end of the year? Kind of tough to tell right now. Okay, let's take a look. Just real quick at the US dollar. Yeah, I know this cough is annoying me more than it's annoying you, trust me. The dollar's been getting hammered as the rest of those products are trying to find footing. The dollar's the one that's getting slammed. I think, guys, the US dollar is going to pay heavily. I think it's going to be tough to get around to $35 trillion in debt, even with Trump in the White House. No, maybe they'll address this. No president has even dared, let alone touch it, to even discuss it. And if they don't do something about it, this is probably one of the few presidents in history that could actually do something about it. If they choose to ignore this problem, it's going to crush the dollar. So I'll be watching very carefully. Donald Trump's going to do a lot of amazing things, but if he drops the ball on the dollar, the national debt thing, forget about it. America's going to get crushed. And bad economic times are going to happen whether he's president or not. Because you can't finance that much debt. Not possible. Not indefinitely. There has to be a way to put a stop to it. Now, Elon Musk, is it Vivian? I forget his name. Forgive me. Not Ramsky. I don't know his whole name. I know I should know it, but I don't. They're like super aggressive on stripping back the federal government like huge. Hopefully those two guys, Elon Musk is freaking brilliant. The other guy is too. Hopefully they're going to come out and say, we have got to address and attack the national debt. Without it, we're dead. So hopefully that's part of their plan. All right. Let's talk about, he went through the currencies, which is fine. I guess we're going to talk about gold here. Why not? Let's talk about gold. Let's talk about gold. What has happened in Goldilocks? Gold's been extremely resilient. Look at this thing. Tracking right around 26.50. Right? Just staying right on the 26.50 line. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I know what you're thinking, punk. Did I shoot 5 or 6 shots? Tell you what, no excitement. Everybody trying to tell me to be something I'm not. Kind of forgot. But doggone it, I'm gold. I'm gonna do as I please. Right? That's gold. I'll do as I damn well please, boy. Don't you tell me to go up, down, ziggity zag, riggity rag. Nah, I don't think so. Gold. Amazing, resilient product. No joke. Gold's just been hanging right around this 26.50. Look at this thing. The SMI says, I command thee, gold, to go down. Gold says, stick it where the sun don't shine, man. Don't be telling me what to do. Momentum's like, I don't want to go positive. I don't want to go positive. Ah, shit, we're going positive. Right? Gold. Amazing. What a product. I don't even know what to say about gold. It's so resilient, it's freaky. Look at this. Like the brakes were put on. Yeah. That's the weekly chart. Like I don't know where the brakes are just put on. Gold's not going anywhere. All right, let's check out silver. Unlike gold, silver's got some movement to it. I'm just kind of checking some other historical highs here on the SMI. 66, we're at 68. Okay. Yeah. I mean, other than this one, the rest of these are higher. So this is kind of high historically. It's not super high, but it's a little bit high. This one up here got up to 78, which is one of the higher ones. That was 70. This one was 75. This is the only one that was actually a little lower. Yeah, right at 66, which is, we're slightly above that now. So this is kind of in an area it could go a little higher, but it may not. and it's trying to get the positive territory. This is very aggressive here, by the way. Very bullish, this action right here. And sure enough, it showed up in the price, though it took a while for it to kind of articulate itself and literally show up. It's like it's kind of slow about making up its mind, but it did eventually and started going up. So I think silver could, within a few weeks, maybe even going into the new year, you could see some positive momentum here. Okay. Around Christmas time, things are going to get weird. Less trading days, less trading hours. So that's a different story. Okay. Crude oil. Oh, crude oil doesn't look healthy. Getting kind of hammered. I think we're going to see it go down, guys. I think a small position on crude oil, if it isn't as crazily priced. This ain't much cheaper, 11,767. Okay, still kind of in the reasonable range for a product. Okay. I think it's heading down. I do. I think crude oil is in trouble. Alrighty. We already looked at corn. I think it could go higher. Bing. Let's take a look at, I guess we're going to go straight into XLP. I think that we looked at all the products. XLP. Wow, look at this big old kind of gap up day. Not a gap up, but definitely a nice bouncy up day. I've been looking to see if this does this. If you see this, maybe an extra day thrown in there, with this much aggressive momentum, I'd get ready, guys, right now, because December 9th is only 4 days away. Give it a little time here. Wait to see if you get to the little check box, little movement here. If it starts heading up, get ready to go long on this product, because I think it'd be a real moneymaker. Not quite yet, but I think so. That's it. Become a member, $7.99. I think I covered everything. Talk to R. Real soon again next time.